Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire.
Time these two teams met, the Tigers were unfurling their 2014 Central Division Championship flag. They went out to outscore the Twins 22-1 and swept them in 3 consecutive games. Well, these two teams will meet again here tonight. The scene has shifted. We're at Target Field in Minneapolis, Game 1 of their series, featuring the Tigers and the Minnesota Twins. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us. Tigers starting this long 10-game road trip here in Minnesota. And the last time these two teams met, Ron, the Tigers were awfully impressive.
Well, Tigers beat up on them in every facet of the game, from the starting pitching to the bullpen to the middle of the batting order. Miguel Cabrera went off. J.D. Martinez went off. Well, they all went off at Comerica Park.
You know what? So did David Price. He nearly had a complete game in that ball game on opening day. He was awfully dominant.
You know, he's looking to rebound after a poor start against the New York Yankees. As a matter of fact, one of his poorest starts of his major league career, gave up 8 earned runs to the Yankees. But against these Minnesota Twins, he had his way against them on opening day. 8 2/3 innings. He nearly pitched a complete game shutout. He didn't have a whole lot of strikeouts because he didn't need to. He pitched to a lot of contact. He only struck out 5 in that game. He didn't walk any, and of course, did not give up any runs whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the last number of times he's gone up against the Minnesota Twins, they've really been no answer for him. His stuff is supreme, and they really don't have the offensive components to beat him.
All right, now we thought the Tigers, who dominated the Twins, may have started something for Minnesota, maybe a downslide, and they really did struggle early on in the season. But this is a Twins team now that is starting to play a little bit better. You see, they started the season 1-6, but they have won 7 of their last 11 ball games. Maybe not quite the offensive team they want to be, Ron, but I think they're starting to play a little bit better and starting to come on now.
And the one guy that they finally got going is Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer has missed a lot of time the last couple of years because of injuries, but he is swinging the bat right now as well as he has the last couple of years. He's right in the middle of their batting order. They are struggling in the middle of the order with some of the other guys. They hope that they will get it going in April as well.
All right, here's one guy that has got it going, and that's Miguel Cabrera. Coming up tonight, he tries to continue a red-hot April. 12 consecutive seasons now for Miggy of at least 25 hits the first month of the year. Miggy and the Tigers take on the Twins. Coming up next.
your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Chrysler, come in and get a great deal during the Chrysler Awards season event. And by Gevalia, 150 years of crafting rich, never bitter coffee. Great night for baseball here in Minneapolis. Stay with us. Lineups, first pitch, David Price, the Tigers taking on the Twins. Next. It was a big opening week sweep for the Tigers over the Minnesota Twins back at Comerica Park, but now we're at Target Field tonight here as the Tigers take on the Minnesota Twins. This will be the first of a three-game series here against Minnesota. The Tigers starting lineup tonight presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for Brian Ausmus, it will be Ian Kinsler bumping up to the leadoff slot, playing second base. Last season batted .287 from this spot. Jose Iglesias batting second tonight. Cabrera is batting third, followed by Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and Yoenis Cespedes, in a bottom three of Avila, Perez, and Anthony Gose.
Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins starting defense. It's brought to you by Tim Hortons. In left field, they've got Robinson. Center field, Schaefer. Right field, Hunter. Up the middle, Santana, Dozier. On the corners of the infield, it's Trevor Plouffe and Joe Mauer. And Kurt Suzuki, the all-star last year, behind the plate.
Well, we mentioned it's a nice night for baseball here in Minneapolis. Crowd still filing in, and here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 65 degrees our game time temperature. Not a whole lot of humidity here tonight. It's clear. No rain in the forecast, and the Tigers getting set to take on the Minnesota Twins. And the red-hot Miguel Cabrera having a terrific month of April. Smack dab in the middle of the Tigers lineup again here tonight. And they will be facing the left-handed offerings of Tommy Malone.
And Tigers have never beaten Tommy Malone in 5 prior starts. He is 2-0 this year with a .338 ERA. He is not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination. Fastball will top out at 90, but he does like to pitch inside to a lot of the right-handers. He also has a changeup he'll use quite a bit to the righties, and a cutter and a curveball.
Paul Molitor is the skipper of the Minnesota Twins. Of course, he replaces Ron Gardenhire, who held the position from 2002 to 2014. And after that 3-game series in Detroit, Rod, he must have been thinking, what did I get into? But they're playing a whole lot better.
For sure. He was the bench coach last year for Ron Gardenhire. And he's had several different roles in the Minnesota Twins organization, from defensive base running outfield instructor in the minor leagues to being elevated to first base coach, bench coach, now their skipper.
The Twins breaking up a 13-year run of Ron Gardenhire and Rick Anderson as their pitching coach and manager tandem, and Paul Molitor taking over this year for the Twins, who check in tonight at 8 wins, 10 defeats. They just won a series against Seattle, winning an 11-inning ball game yesterday, 4-2. Joe Mauer had a big hit in that game, and so Minnesota with a little bit of momentum. Meanwhile, Miguel Cabrera, how about this as we check out our NGM scouting report on Cabrera? And the month of April is no stranger to success for Miggy.
25 hits every month of April for the last 12 consecutive seasons.
Longest streak in Major League Baseball since 1914. By the way, Jabba Chamberlain, he brought out the lineup card again here tonight. He's become somewhat of a good luck charm.
Yeah, they had dropped 4 in a row, and then on Saturday they had Jabba take the lineup card out, and of course they won that game. Now he's giving some of the instructions in to Brad Ausmus.
He's giving the ground rules that Jabba was just listening to from the umpire. So we're ready for baseball tonight. Ian Kinsler will start things off. The Tigers 13 wins, 6 defeats coming into play this evening.
First time in the leadoff spot this year for Ian Kinsler. He occupied that spot for the most part every single game last season.
Tommy Malone is ready to go, and his first pitch sails up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Kinsler has been hot, 6 for his last 10. Malone has been pitching good baseball for the Twins this year. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1 on Kinsler.
Malone is a perfect example of a guy that doesn't need a 95-mile-per-hour fastball to be successful at this level if you've got some good location with your heater.
Malone, 28 years of age, out of Saugus, California.
Got a really good changeup. He'll throw the changeup to the left-handers and the right-handers.
Kinsler batting .307, has not homered yet this year. And he fouls it straight back.
This will feel like the first road trip of the season for the Tigers, even though they did have that 6-game trip through Cleveland and Pittsburgh. But they were opening up ballparks for the season there. Their routines were interrupted. They were playing day games still. Now everything's pretty much night games. Everybody's getting settled in and whatnot. So this is more true to the season.
That's belted to center field, hit well. Schaefer, long run, tracks it down at the warning track.
Schaefer was kind of cruising on that ball, and then he had to get on his horse to run it down.
1 gone. That'll bring up Jose Iglesias. Jose, batting in the 2-spot career, is 5 for 12. He's been elevated to that spot here tonight. Rajai Davis unable to go this evening. So Kinsler bumped up a spot, and Iglesias goes to number 2. There's a strike call.
Iglesias was flashing that leather in the just completed homestand. He makes all the plays at the shortstop position.
Now the 0-1. That'll miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Malone will do that quite often here tonight. You would think that a guy whose fastball tops out at 90, and he only will get there once or twice this evening, he is not afraid to throw that fastball inside.
It's belted toward left field. On the move is Robinson. He's going to turn on it, and that ball is going to carry out. It's a line drive. Home run for Jose Iglesias.
And that's what happens when you try to go inside against a guy like Iglesias, who's not necessarily known for his power, but you don't get it in there, and he barrels it up, and he's continued his torrid hot pace here in the month of April. It's a cut fastball that Malone does not quite get inside. As a matter of fact, it stays right over the heart of the plate, jumped on by the little shortstop, Iglesias.
I'm not sure whether to be more impressed with his defense this year or his offense.
That's his 5th career home run.
Yeah, of course, he didn't hit any last year, didn't play, but he had a couple of home runs for the Tigers after they acquired him in 2013, but not many for this guy. And the Tigers off to a nice start here tonight. Here is Cabrera. He'll shoot that one foul down the right field line. 1-1.
And Miggy is hitting a cool .500 in his career against Tommy Malone. So Tommy really hasn't been able to figure Miguel Cabrera out. Nor has there been many in the game that have been able to figure Miggy out.
.377 batting average this season. Drives this one in the air to right field. That ball is hit well. Torrey Hunter going back, and he'll run that one down in front of the wall.
That is 3 consecutive hard hit balls tonight against Tommy Malone.
Hey, by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs, and we're a third of the way there, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. 2 away now, and here is Victor Martinez.
Beautiful day here in Minneapolis.
You know, we arrived last night. We saw the temperatures were going to be in the mid to upper 60s today, and really all 3 days. Pretty excited about that. Much warmer than it was on the last homestand.
This is one of the prettiest ballparks in the majors.
Of the visiting ballparks, where do you have this one ranked?
It's right up there in the top 3.
Martinez at 245. He is 4 for 8 against Malone. They'll roll that one foul. Yeah, this one for me is right up there as well. It's top 3. I might go Pittsburgh number 1 and then Target Field number 2, but this place is gorgeous.
I got Pac-Bell 1.
Do you?
Pittsburgh 2. This might be my number 3. Baltimore's in my top 5. This is beautiful here, though. There's not a lot of people here these days, but whenever they get competitive again and this place starts to fill up, it's a special yard.
No balls, 2 strikes on Victor Martinez. Tigers lead on the Iglesias homer. That's right back up the middle and into center field. And so Martinez continues to pound Malone in his career. And the Tigers have their second hit of the inning.
Tigers usually have trouble with soft tossers like Malone, guys that don't have much fastballs, guys that don't try to overpower you, but he's a guy that will change some speeds, change up in fastball counts, breaking balls in fastball counts, and in the last couple of years those kind of guys have presented problems for Detroit.
Well, here is J.D. Martinez. He looks at strike 1. J.D. was slowed down a little bit in the final series of that homestand against the Indians, only 2 for 12. He did, however, have 9 hits on the homestand for Detroit. Here's the 0-1.
And J.D. Martinez pretty much was inserted into the everyday lineup about June 14th last year. And Brad Ausmuth hasn't been able to get him out of the lineup since. He's been raking.
J.D. stands deep in the box, that back foot on that back line of the batter's box. And he takes outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Martinez. Waiting on deck, Yoenis Cespedes.
You ever seen him walk around the clubhouse with his shirt off?
Cespedes?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, isn't he?
Oh, my goodness.
That's missing low, 3-1. He is a strong fella. Cespedes already has hit 3 home runs this year, including a grand slam on the last homestand.
And he seems to perk up whenever he sees that Minnesota Twins uniform. Good career numbers for Yoenis against Twins pitching.
Here's the 3-1 off the end of the bat, 3-2. Martinez hit a couple of home runs in that opening series against Minnesota. Hit 1 against Phil Hughes and also hit 1 against Gibson.
You see where Phil Hughes has already lost 4 games?
I did. And coming off that season he had last year, especially now that the Twins don't have Santana for half the season with that PED suspension, they were counting on Hughes. Runner will go on 3-2, and it's low ball 4. So Martinez gets a walk, and that'll put 2 men on for the Tigers. And bring up the aforementioned Yoenis Cespedes. 13 RBIs this year for Yoenis, batting .292 on the season. He was 2 out of 11 of the series against the Indians. Tigers, after dropping 3 of 4 to the Yankees, wanted to do much better work against the Indians. Cespedes had a big series against Minnesota. First 3 games of the year was 5 for 13. And Malone missing outside 1-0.
That's exactly what Tommy Malone will do with runners in scoring position to the right-handed hitters. He will throw lots of off-speed pitches.
Malone had a really good start, his first one of the year against the White Sox. 7 2/3 of 2-hit shutout baseball. Driven deep toward left center field. That ball is tattooed, and that ball is gone. A home run. Yoenis Cespedes powers one over the wall in left center. His 4th home run of the year. And the Tigers showing no let-up on the Twins.
Well, when Malone missed with the first pitch changeup, Yoenis Cespedes knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was going to get a fastball. The fastball was about 87 miles an hour, and he has now driven in 16 runs, Yoenis Cespedes. He doesn't quite get it in as far as he wanted to, and the lethally quick hands by Cespedes able to get through the zone in a hurry, and he smokes it into the Tigers bullpen. They might be eating some curly fries tonight.
Yeah, by the end of the first inning. So the Tigers run their advantage now to 4-0 as Alex Avila looks at ball 1.
Not to go unnoticed, the outstanding at bat by J.D. Martinez taking the walk.
That kept the chain moving for Yoenis Cespedes. Avila shoots that one foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. So homers in this inning by Iglesias and Cespedes. And an early lead for the Tigers.
And Cespedes came into action tonight hitting .373 with 4 homers and 21 RBIs against the Minnesota Twins since coming to the big leagues.
So add to those numbers.
The 21 RBIs only in 18 games coming in. So now in 19 games for Cespedes, 24 ribeyes.
Avila lines one toward left, slicing. And that'll go foul.
Tigers took some early batting practice today from 2 to 3. Some of the guys trying to get on track. That's one thing about a hitting coach. You could have 10 guys that are doing well, but there's always a couple of guys that are struggling, guys that need a little work.
Wally Joyner was out throwing extra BP today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On Avila, they play the shift on for Avila, or did, but they've straightened up now with a 2-2 count. And he went around. Yes, strike 3 on the appeal. Tom Hallion called him out, and the inning finally ends for Malone. Not before the Tigers bring out the big bats. They muscle up home runs from Jose Iglesias. And then Yoenis Cespedes. 4-0 Detroit. tonight. And now the Twins will face David Price, who is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And the one win that Price has this year came at the expense of the Minnesota Twins on opening day at Comerica Park. He pitched 8 2/3 innings and did not give up a run. He struck out 5 and did not walk a batter.
So Price will go to work now with a nice little lead to work with here in the first inning as Brian Dozier leads it off for Minnesota. And Dozier looks at ball 1.
If you're the Minnesota Twins, the last thing that you wanted to see was that 4 spot put on the board by the Tigers in the first, with David Price on the mound for the Tigers as much success as he's had against you.
And not a good recipe, to be sure. Here's the 1-0. Pulled foul back into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dozier. Not having nearly the type of start this season that he had last year. He's hitting only .203 this year. And hit only .208 on the recent road trip that the Twins just finished up. Here's the 1-1 from Price. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Something else that David Price has done a lot of this year. He works inside, but he's got a big arm. He's got a fastball that will get up to 95 whenever he wants to get up to that velocity. Curve, cutter, slider, changeup.
Dozier fouls it back.
Danny Santana had been leading off the majority of the year, but he is struggling mightily. Their shortstop in a sophomore slump after performing very well last year. He's now batting 9th, which means Dozier's been bumped up to the leadoff slot.
Twins really as a team have been struggling. .226 offensively, which is really toward the bottom of the league. That is a foul ball. Just outside of the bag at third, right by Hernan Perez. They're going to argue this, it looks like. Paul Molitor coming out.
They're going to challenge this one right out of the chute. Dozier's just going to keep on going to second base.
So it looks like right away we'll get the instant replay coming in. And a challenge for the Minnesota Twins. It took Molitor probably a half a second to come running out. Now it looks like Tom Hallion's going to call in all of the umpires.
Well, no one had as good a look at it as he did.
Yeah, no doubt. He's right there. Hallion is the crew chief in this 4-man crew, which also includes Alfonso Marquez, Dan Bellino, and Bruce Dreckman.
Alfonso Marquez is the home plate umpire tonight.
I really don't know who would have had a better look at that. And so they're going to take a look at it now in the replay, I think.
It doesn't look like they need a replay here. It looks like Marquez, the home plate umpire, may have overruled Tom Hallion, the third base umpire, who initially called it foul.
So that'll be a 2-base hit for Brian Dozier. Yeah, not much of a beat from Brad Ausmus. So they did not need to go look at the videotape.
Those 4 runs in the top half of the first probably helped.
No doubt.
Yeah, hit the bag.
Yeah, that's a fair ball.
Yeah, hit the bag.
I mean, that's pretty clear right there. Changing directions. So here is Torrey Hunter now with the leadoff 2-base hit. And Torrey looks at a strike on the outer edge.
It's been a few games now where Torrey is back in that number 2 spot. Paul Molitor trying to shuffle the offense, trying to get some stuff going. And Torrey very familiar with hitting in that spot the last 2 years with Detroit, and even his final year when he was playing for the Angels.
Here's the 0-1. Popped up back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes on Hunter.
Yeah, good firm 94-mile-per-hour fastball thrown by the Tigers ace, David Price.
Hunter is 39 years of age now. Spent the last couple of years with the Tigers wearing the Old English tee, but back with the organization that he grew up with, the Twins. .233 batting average for Hunter. Now Price with the 0-2 pitch. checked it. They want the appeal. Didn't go, says Dan Bellino. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Torrey, look at Torrey, man. He's styling.
Is he trying to get into modeling after his career is over with?
You know, he used to have that Twitter war with Justin Verlander on the best dressed.
He cleaned it in the Board of Health on that picture.
Normally you see guys wearing their uniforms up on the scoreboard.
Not Torrey. He going out in style.
Here's the 1-2. That is fouled right out of the glove of Avila. Check that out.
That's a tailor-made jacket there.
Yeah, it is.
You can't just go pick that up off the shelf.
Looks pretty sweet. Very nice, Torrey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff 2-base hit by Dozier. He's at second. And again the 1-2. Swing and this big hack there by Hunter.
Way too big for 2 strikes.
Let's check out the rest of the starting lineup for the Twins, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw the first 2, Dozier and Hunter. Joe Mauer hitting third. Last 5 games he's been on fire. Trevor Plouffe at third base. Nunez the DH. Suzuki catching, and there's your bottom 3. Robinson, Schaefer, Santana. So here is the hottest Twin, Joe Mauer, who's got his average up to 299. He leads the team with 9 RBIs. Mauer really has been good against left-handed pitching this year. 382 versus southpaws.
And surprisingly, he's only hitting 212 against right-handed pitching. He has become much more of a pull hitter these days, working with Tom Brunansky, their new hitting coach. There used to be a time where every single base hit Mauer got, and he drove the opposite way. There's Tom Brunansky. He was a good outfielder for the Minnesota Twins. He had a lot of power.
1 ball, no strikes on Mauer. Here is the hits by directions for Joe.
Look how many to right field, and look how many to center field. It used to be the opposite, where all those balls were the opposite way.
Big swing there.
But Tom Brunansky wanted Joe Mauer, because he's healthy this year, he's not really nursing any injuries. He wanted him to swing the bat with a little bit more authority, and with that, he started pulling the baseball.
And that is the key phrase, because he is healthy. Mauer has been dogged by injuries the last couple of years. His 11th consecutive opening day roster for the Minnesota Twins this year. Drilled towards center field. Here is Anthony Gose lining it up. Dozier will retreat.
And let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health System. Gose getting the start tonight against the left-hander. Rajay Davis left yesterday's game with a mild injury. Cespedes in left, he's already homered. Iglesias, he's homered 2. 15 double plays this season for the shortstop, tied for second most in the big leagues.
So with 2 outs, here is Trevor Plouffe, who is batting in the cleanup slot for Minnesota. Tigers on top 4-0. If you tuned in a little bit late, you missed Iglesias and Cespedes hitting home runs. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
A real nice change piece there thrown to an aggressive first ball swinging Trevor Plouffe. We've already seen a good changeup from Price. We've seen the fastball in the mid-90s. He struck Hunter out with a really good curveball, so he's mixing in all of his pitches here in the very first inning.
Plouffe has had some success against Price in his career. 6-4-15. Bouncing ball back up the middle, and Iglesias can't get it. Into center field, a base hit. Dozier comes around to score. It's a 2-out RBI hit for Trevor Plouffe. 4-1 ball game.
Back-to-back changeups thrown by Price to Plouffe, on the second of which he cut his swing down. He didn't swing as aggressively, and he was able to hit the ball right past the shortstop diving Jose Iglesias.
So the Twins answer with one of their own, and that'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. 5th RBI this year for Plouffe. Nunez, the DH today, is off to a nice start in the opportunities that he's had to play. Only 5 games this year. He's done the job.
A lot of extra base hits as well for Nunez, who plays left field, plays third base.
Nunez has doubled in 4 straight games for Minnesota. Price ready with the 1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball to second. Kinsler slides to his right. That'll take care of the Twins, not before they get a run back, and the RBI hit by Plouffe. Let's go to the second.
Fastball thrown to the number 2 hitter today, Jose Iglesias. He plays long ball for a solo shot. Then a couple of more runners aboard. Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and it's Cespedes who gets a fastball right down the middle for a 3-run home run in the first.
Tigers now have hit 18 home runs so far in the season. The Twins have only 9 this year. Tommy Milone back to work, and he delivers a strike to Hernan Perez.
I think I mentioned this yesterday. Nelson Cruz of the Seattle Mariners has 9 home runs as well, so he by himself has tied the Minnesota Twins in homers this year.
Twins are the only team in the American League that have not at least hit double-digit homers. Milone trying for a much quicker second inning. Perez backs out of there. Nick Castellanos gets the night off tonight. He's been struggling, so Perez gets an opportunity to play third. Milone already at 30 total. Here's the 2-1. Right back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Leadoff man on for the Tigers. Hey, by the way, stay tuned for Tigers Live. Following the game, we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by the 2 for $5 classic quarter pounder with cheese. Here is Anthony Gose. Gose at .333 with 5 RBIs.
He has not attempted to bunt for a base hit yet this year, but more than likely against the left-hander today, Milone, he might attempt at least once.
Gose would not have played tonight had it not been for the injury to Rajay Davis, who gets the day off.
Tigers are 9-1 this season when Rajay Davis starts.
How about that? That is a telling stat. There's Raj watching the action this evening. Said before the game today he feels a lot better. There's your show of bunt, but he didn't offer.
And he also told me during the course of spring training, Anthony did, Ghost, that when he does bunt, because the third baseman usually crowd him and from their position at third base, he usually likes to go down the first base line where it's a little bit easier for him to get a base hit.
Runner goes, and a big jump. Going to be tough for Suzuki. No chance.
How about these Tigers, these running Tigers?
They have been much more aggressive this year. Perez gets his first stolen base of the season. It's a pretty good jump there against a lefty. With the high strength steal of the game. And it comes very quickly here tonight as Perez dives into second. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Ghost. Again, he shows bunt. That time a strike call. Tommy Milone was acquired from the Oakland A's. In fact, he began the season on the A's opening day roster last year. Pitched well in his final 11 starts before he was dealt. Goes swinging that time, fouls it back out of play. 2-2. Anthony almost exclusively has been batting in the leadoff spot, but Kinsler is doing that tonight. He's waiting on deck.
And Ghost was 1 for 5 last Friday against the Tribe at Comerica Park, but he struck out 4 times in that game.
That'll get away from Suzuki, and no throw down to third base.
Well, you wonder if Paul Molitor is going to play the infield and here with David Price on the bump here tonight for the Tigers. They can't afford to give away any more runs. It's a nice job here by Perez reading the ball in the dirt. Suzuki blocked it, but couldn't corral it. Therefore, nice jump by Perez getting over to third.
And indeed, the infield will come in. Not the start that Paul Molitor was hoping for. 3-2 is inside, ball 4. The Tigers get another base runner. That'll be the second walk of the game for Milone. 2 on, nobody out. And an opportunity now for Ian Kinsler, who began the game with a deep fly ball to center field. He'll back up looking for a ground ball here, perhaps to try and turn 2. And Ghost will draw a throw, and he immediately is certainly someone that Milone will keep an eye on.
The Minnesota Twins catchers this year have not thrown out one base stealer. Not one. They have not thrown out one base stealer.
Really?
Suzuki was given credit for throwing out one, but it was a pickoff by Tommy Milone when he was on the mound. So they have not thrown the ball from the catcher's position to any of the bases and recorded a caught stealing yet this year.
Kinsler drills one foul down the left field line.
Tommy Milone is not fooling anybody.
Well, time for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving stats. And we're talking about all of these stolen bases for the Tigers. Look at their pace this year. And last year was a huge jump from 2013. They are on a larger pace this season.
Well, we knew it was a different team this year with the addition of Cespedes, Iglesias, Rajay Davis and Ghost with their speed. Ian Kinsler can steal a bag.
It has been a fist fight so far for Tommy Milone. Give up the 2 homers and a walk in the first inning. Now a single, a wild pitch, a walk, a steal. And he misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kinsler. Here is Iglesias waiting on deck. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Tigers so far today are doing a very nice job of laying off the borderline pitches that Milone is throwing. They're not swinging at any of the balls. Therefore, his ratio today is not very good.
That is hit toward the shortstop. Nice play by Santana to second one, and they got a double play.
You will not see a finer play turned in the infield with the combination of Ghost and Kinsler running. Santana has outstanding range, but it's the feed that he gives to Dozier, and Dozier takes very little time coming across the bag to make sure that Ghost could not interrupt him throwing the ball back to the first baseman, Joe Mauer. That's a nice double play.
Yeah, that's as good as he can probably turn it. Kinsler just nipped at the wire. The run will score. No RBI for Ian. Tremendous play by Santana on a ball that looked to be headed to left field. So the Tigers now lead 5-1. Tigers thought about perhaps checking that play at first base to see if Kinsler had beaten it out, but they will not challenge. So with 2 outs, here is Iglesias. Ball 1 outside. Solo home run in the first inning, his first long ball of the year. And he takes low and away again, 2-0.
Well, Iglesias is going to get himself another fastball to hit here. He got a fastball in the first inning and hit it right over that Budweiser sign in left field.
Strike in the outside corner. 2-1. Lifted in the air towards second base, and Dozier on the cut of the grass to retire the side. Tigers get another run. We go to the bottom of the second in Minneapolis. You taking some selfies down there?
That's what it looks like. I think that selfie thing's not going away, is it?
No, it's around for good. A lot of Tigers fans here in Minneapolis. They typically do pretty well here in terms of traveling to Target Field. So David Price goes back to work. Kurt Suzuki leads it off. 5-1 Tigers have the lead here tonight, and the first pitch is in for a strike on Suzuki. Shane Robinson and then Jordan Schaefer to follow.
And Kurt Suzuki off to a slow start, batting just .204 after making an all-star team last year and pretty much had a career year offensively.
Yeah, they liked his start so much that they eventually gave him a contract extension. That was in the middle of the season, in July to be exact, but it has been a slow go this year, just .204. Price with the 1-1. Driven to right field. JD is on the run. One out. Price surrendered the 2-out RBI single to Trevor Plouffe in the first inning. That's how the Twins got their run. Here is Shane Robinson, enjoying a 6-game hitting streak right now. And Robinson with a huge swing. He fouled it off 0-1. Former St. Louis Cardinal, originally a 5th-round pick of the Cards. Was up and down with them for the past 5 years. And Price missing high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson not much power, but off to a .355 start this season. He backs out on a pitch inside. 2-1 the count. Opening day against the Twins, David Price, 8 2/3 innings, 5 hits, shutout baseball. Twins got only 1 run in that series, outscored 22-1. Down the right field line and foul, 2-2. We want to welcome in those that are watching the Detroit Red Wings second intermission, game 6. Tampa right now with a 3-1 lead over the Wings. Here at Target Field, the Tigers are on top 5-1. They hit a couple of home runs in the first inning, Iglesias and Cespedes. Another foul back to the screen. David Price has thrown over 100 pitches in 28 of his last 30 starts. He's got 25 of them tonight.
The definition of a horse, an ace.
The only 2 starts in which he didn't throw at least 100?
Yankees.
You guessed it. Last year at the end of the year, and of course his last start. And he missed outside. Run it full now on Robinson, 3-2.
Had a nice conversation with David Price yesterday, and he admitted to me that they detected a flaw in his delivery during the game against the Yankees, the same flaw that he had when he started against them last year. That will be corrected. So I don't think he'll be giving up any more 8 spots to the Yankees.
Well, and I know he won't admit it, but the weather that night had to have something to do with it.
Could not field the baseball that night. No way.
Temperatures that night were in the 30s. It was snowing at Comerica Park.
And David actually said that it was Brad Ausmus that kind of found the flaw. And when you have had a manager that's managed played 18 years in the big leagues, it's pretty easy for him to find some of those flaws of his pitcher.
3-2 the count. Price came in at 1-1 with a 3.28 ERA. So even with that rocky start against the Yankees, his earned run average still in the low 3s. Shane Robinson draws a 1-out walk. First of the ball game now for Price. Fans, don't forget to see the Tigers take on these Minnesota Twins on Wednesday, May 13th, 7:08 start. And the first 10,000 fans receive a free Detroit Tigers 2015-16 wall calendar. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Here's Jordan Schaefer. He also is off to a dreadful start, just 132. And he tried to bunt. Schaefer, no homers, couple of RBIs. He had one of those stretches where it just seemed impossible to break out of. Earlier in the month, he was 0 for 21. And it's certainly tough to dig out of that hole. Hence the average at 132. That's in there for a strike. You know, when you're 0 for 21, not only do you wonder, when am I going to get my next hit, but you're probably wondering, will I be in the lineup the next day?
That's for sure. And they also have some center fielders in the minor leagues, Aaron Hicks and also Byron Buxton, that are knocking on the door.
Soft line drive to left, base hit. That will move Robinson to second base, and the Twins are threatening here in the second.
Sort of a half swing by Schaefer on a cut fastball at 89, just served it in the left.
Twins have their third hit. They have speed on the bases right now as Danny Santana stands in.
Santana has struck out 20 times already this year, and that's the reason why he's batting ninth these days, no longer leading off. He leads their team in strikeouts.
In there for strike one.
And usually when you're a young player and you're struggling like Santana is right now, you take the really good pitches like he just did for strike one, and then you start to chase the breaking balls and the changeup stuff that's out of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Nice changeup at 86. He can throw an elevated fastball here right around the letters at about 93, 94 and get himself a strikeout here of Santana.
In the first meeting this year, Santana was 0 for 12 in the 3-game series. 5 of those were strikeouts. Into the glove for strike 3, and a wave and a miss by Santana.
No match for David Price. Best fastball of the night thrown by David at 96.
Right by Santana. Here it is. Try and hit it. 2 outs. Top of the order now, Brian Dozier. Two-base hit off the bag at third base in his first at bat, and eventually came around to score a run in the first inning. In for strike one.
Tigers did a very nice job against Dozier in that series at Comerica Park. They threw him fastball after fastball outside on the black and wanted him to hit it as far as he could to center field, right field. He is a dead pull hitter. Not a lot of power the opposite direction.
Dozier is not showing any power in any direction this year. He has only 1 home run, and this coming off a season in which he hit 23.
He is beefing with Alfonso Marquez on both of these pitches thrown by Price that were called strikes.
Legitimate beefs both times. 0-2. Avila down to block it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dozier. Dozier last April hit 7 home runs. Had a really good month, and again, only 1 so far this year. But as we mentioned, as a team, Minnesota is 14th in the American League in average. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. David Price comes back to fan a couple, and they will strand a couple of runners. 3rd strikeout of the game for David. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Here at Target Field, they have done some real damage in this park.
I thought this was supposed to be a pitcher's park.
Yeah, no doubt. Just don't tell that to these guys. Cabrera, Martinez, JD, and Cespedes, all with very healthy numbers here at Target Field.
That's because neither of those guys are really dead pull hitters.
Cabrera flied out to right field his first time up, batting .371. And Malone missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Malone was fortunate to get a double play ball back in the 2nd. Tigers settled for 1 run. But it was looking like it might be another ugly inning for Tommy. Had missed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Malone was sent to AAA last year by the Athletics when they traded for Jeff Samardzija. In there, a strike call. 2-2 on Cabrera. Then eventually the Twins traded for him. Sam Fuld went the other way to Oakland in that deal last July. 3-2 now on Miguel.
That's one thing about playing for the Oakland Athletics with Billy Beane and being in charge out there. You might as well keep one suitcase packed, regardless of who you are.
Meanwhile, 50 for Malone already. Right back up the middle into center field.
He is just a machine.
And it's his first hit of the night. Tigers get the leadoff man on for the 2nd straight inning. And that'll bring up Victor Martinez, who did the same thing to him back in the 1st inning, a single. Tigers already have 5 hits on the scoreboard.
And leadoff man has been on base all 3 innings so far. Excuse me, 2 of the 3.
That's in for a strike. 0-1. Victor was 3 out of 10 in that series against the Indians. Average now is up, thanks to his base hit, to 250. 260 rather.
And Victor is one of those guys that once he gets 100% healthy, you know where the batting average is going to be once they get into September.
That's in for a strike. 0-2.
Career 300 hitter, batting right-handed and left-handed coming into play this season. Told you that Malone is not afraid to come inside with the fastball, even though his top fastball is only about 89 miles an hour. He has to do that to keep the hitters off balance.
Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. Tigers embarking on a 10-game trip. They've got 3 here in Minnesota, 4 in Kansas City. They'll have an off day in Chicago and then play a 3-game series there. So as Rod mentioned, this is really the first real road trip of the year, a 10-gamer where you're away from home for a long time.
Then you add the fact that when they went to Cleveland, it was opening day for the Tribe. Then they went to Pittsburgh. It was opening day for them as well. So the times of the games and when you had to get to the ballpark and some of those other things that go along with opening day can be a little disruptive.
Bouncing ball to third. Plouffe will go to second for 1. That's going to be an easy double play.
Tigers are hitting to a lot of those this year.
Haven't they, though? That is their second here tonight. And with Martinez running down the line, the Twins knew they could take their time with it. That is the 23rd double play the Tigers have bounced into.
I guess you've got to take the good with the bad.
You do. The 23 represents the high water mark in the American League. Here's J.D. Martinez, and he fouls it off. 0-1. Walk and a run scored for J.D. Ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There is Cespedes waiting on deck. JD still has 5 home runs. His last homer was hit on the 18th. So nearly 10 days ago. That was against the White Sox on the last homestand.
And 4 of his 5 home runs this year have come pretty much to right field. The opening day home run at Comerica Park was in the right center field.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Just missed the outside corner. Malone staring in after that one. 3-2 the count. Close.
Yeah, David Price got a strike called in that same area last half inning.
Ripped to left field, a base hit. So Martinez hooks one into left for the Tigers' second hit of the inning.
Here is our Nissan drive of the game. If you tuned in a little late today, this is exactly what you missed. Yoenis Cespedes stepped up with runners on first and second, got a fastball that didn't quite get to the area where Tommy Malone wanted it, and he played long ball again.
Home run number 4 for Cespedes. RBI total now at 16 for the Tigers outfielder. Ball 1 missing outside.
And these guys were teammates in Oakland, so Malone knows a little bit about Yoenis Cespedes, and Cespedes feels like he's got a pretty good idea of what Malone might want to try to do to him tonight. Matter of fact, the catcher, the pitcher, and the hitter,
right,
all played together in Oakland.
Cespedes was dealt to the Boston Red Sox. And Malone, as we mentioned, was dealt here to Minnesota. For a couple of big-time pitchers, Samardzija and Lester. Fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Malone surrendered 4 in the first, 1 more in the second. Tigers with a couple of hits, but a double play ball here in the third. .373 coming in career against Minnesota pitching for Cespedes. Swing and a miss. He chased out of the strike zone and got him on strikes. So Malone avoids any further damage, and we go to the bottom of the third.
Start where most starting pitchers get to the yard, well, about 5 o'clock for a 7 o'clock start. He was at the yard at 2:42 in an empty ballpark by himself eating lunch.
Nice photo.
How about that?
2:42.
2:42 in the afternoon by himself having lunch.
Well, David Price goes back to work, and he throws a strike on the outer edge. Maybe he didn't like the hotel food. I don't know.
Oh, could have been. Could have been.
You know, a lot of guys really just don't like hanging out around the hotel. They just love coming to the ballpark.
Right. He loves the ballpark. He's one of those guys that's tough to beat to the yard. Yoenis Cespedes is another guy that gets to the ballpark very early. Yoenis Cespedes during spring training, you couldn't beat him to the ballpark.
Right.
6 a.m. in the morning.
You know, there's something peaceful about coming to a major league ballpark before anybody is in here, whether it's players, managers, coaches, workers, anybody, just kind of hanging out at the yard and taking it all in. Here's the 0-2 to Torrey. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter struck out back in the first inning, 0 for 1. Now David Reddy with the 1-2. Missed high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
David might just double up with another fastball in the mid-90s inside to Torrey Hunter.
Hunter, Mauer, and Plouffe here in the Twins' third. And a swing and a miss by Torrey.
Fourth strikeout of the night for Price. He's got Torrey twice.
So here's the Bernstein advantage pitcher-batter matchup, and Joe Mauer against David Price. Well, Price has the Bernstein advantage, only 5 for 28. 7 strikeouts against David. Mauer fly to center field his first time up. And it's a ball inside, 1-0.
And Joe Mauer is sporting a beard these days. Usually Joe's clean shaven, but he has a buddy that plays for the Minnesota Wild by the name of Zach Parise. And he said he would keep the beard as long as the Wild stayed in the playoffs.
Look at you digging up that nugget.
Yeah.
There's a strike called on Mauer.
So he's going to have to keep that beard for a while because they're in the second round against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Of course, Mauer is from Minnesota, and so is Zach Parise, so that's probably why they're good buddies.
Yeah, Zach, the son of J.P. Parise, who recently passed away. 2-1 on Mauer. Bouncing ball to short. Iglesias with a nice easy hop and a nice easy throw. Mauer is out. 2 away. Hey, Saturday, May 9th, the Tigers take on the Royals at 1:08. Be sure to arrive early for the special pregame on-field clinic. It's hosted by Tigers players and coaches. 866-66-TIGER for more information. And learn from the best.
Yeah, that guy right there puts on a clinic every single night. If you're a young hitter and you watch Tigers baseball, just watch Miggy and everything he does in the batter's box.
Here is Trevor Plouffe. If I'm a youngster and I'm a shortstop, whether I'm in Little League or high school or whatever, I'd love to talk to Jose Iglesias.
He would be one to talk to for sure.
Iglesias has made highlight play after highlight play this year. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Plouffe.
And we're just in April right now.
That's right. Here are the numbers on Price. He has gone 50 so far, 31 strikes. Trevor got him for a 2-out RBI single in the first inning, and to this point the only run for Minnesota. The 2-0. 2-1 on Plouffe. Plouffe has 37 home runs here at Target Field in his career. That is the most by any player in this ballpark. And in there again for strike 2.
And David Price has thrown 52 pitches here, and 80% of them have been fastballs. Good fastballs in the mid-90s.
Outside as Price stayed away again, but now the count fills at 3-2. Waiting on deck, Nunez, the designated hitter. Price with 4 strikeouts in this game. Pulled on the ground to third. Nice play there by Hernan Perez. Throws up the line. Tag is made, and the inning is over.
Nice job by Miggy coming off the bag, catching it, and applying the tag.
Nicely done all the way around. A 1-2-3 inning for David Price. A little help from his buddy down at third, Hernan Perez. Minnesota. How about some of the best records through 19 games in the last 50 seasons? That's the type of start the Tigers have gotten off to this year.
Yeah, this 2015 squad not too far behind the 78-84 teams.
Malone goes back to work, and a breaking ball is waved at by Avila. 0-1.
And same pitch he struck Avila out with in the first, that really slow breaking ball.
Now Malone ready with the 0-1 pitch, and Avila fouls it off. 0-2. Bottom three for the Tigers here in the fourth inning. Avila, Perez, Gose. Alex struck out in the first. That ended that long inning for the Tigers. And he missed with a fastball away. Hernan Perez waiting on deck. Two and two the count. Avila had that big series against Minnesota to begin the season, was 4 for 8. He homered on opening day, hit a 2-run shot the other way. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. $70 now for Malone. And you see the ratio is not very good. 39 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Right back up the middle. But there's the shortstop, Santana. That's where the shift came in, Andy.
Yeah, Alex Avila, of all the Tigers hitters that gets shifted on, he loses more hits than anybody. This ball looked like it was ticketed right back up the box, but there was Danny Santana, the shortstop, to make it a routine play.
The dreaded shift. Here are the percentages of shifts this year compared to last season. They are up by about 1%, a little over 1%. Here's Perez. Hernan looks at a strike. 0-1. He singled, stole a base, scored a run back in the second. Tigers giving Nick Castellanos a little bit of a mental break tonight. Nick has been scuffling a bit offensively. He was 0 for his last 11, so he gets the night off. And he gives Perez a chance to get some reps down at third and get some ABs.
We've seen Perez, since putting on a Tigers uniform, play some second base, some shortstop, and some third base. Shortstop clearly his best position.
Here's the bouncing ball to his opposite number out there at short. Santana will throw him out. 2 gone. And that's a couple of 6-3 rollouts here in the fourth inning. Here's Anthony Gose. Gose had a base on balls, did not score in his first at bat. That was back in the second. He shows bunt. Twins last year won the season series against the Tigers, winning 10 of the 19, but Detroit now has won 4 consecutive games against the Twins, trying to make it 5 straight tonight. High towering fly ball, foul ground, right field. Dozier, nice play, falls down and hangs on. And Malone has himself a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Tigers go in order, and we go to the bottom of the fourth.
shortstop, so he has the athleticism as a shortstop, and he goes into foul territory and has a little difficulty making this play, but he's the only one that would have made the play. Hunter wouldn't have made the play, nor would have Joe Mauer.
Ended up on the seat of his pants, but with the ball in his glove, that's all that matters. Now David Price goes back to work. And he'll deliver to Eduardo Nunez. No balls and 1 strike on Nunez, who bounced out back in the first. Price had himself a 1-2-3 third inning. That's it for a strike, and now 0-2 on Nunez.
What a pitch. 94 miles an hour away from the arm side on the black inside. Tough pitch to hit if you're Nunez. And it looks like Alfonso Marquez is giving David Price the benefit of the doubt here this evening.
A little bit outside there.
But when you can command the fastball the way that Price can, if you're the umpire, if a guy's always right around the plate, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
The fact that he's David Price also helps a little bit too, probably.
Yeah, that helps. Former Cy Young Award winner. 4-time All-Star.
Ooh, just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's thrown more curveballs today than he has in his previous 3 starts this year.
Price ready with the 2-2. Here it is. Slap toward right field. That's going to slice into the corner, but foul. Looks like Kansas City, who came in a half game behind the Tigers, is winning tonight in Cleveland. They're beating up on Corey Kluber.
Really?
6-2 is that score. Kluber started that game for Cleveland.
Kansas City this year is doing the one thing that they really hadn't done all that well the last couple of years, and that's perform offensively. A lot of the guys that were supposed to be really impact players offensively, they've turned into impact players.
Outside again, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Because they've pitched well and they've caught the baseball efficiently the last number of years. But now the offense is really perked up. They lead the American League in hitting.
Guys like Kane, Moustakas.
They believe now after going to the World Series last year.
Price with the 3-2. Fouled away.
Should be a really fun 4-game series in Kansas City, because Kansas City could not beat the Tigers last year to save their lives.
That'll be next on this road trip. Here's what's going on right now in the Central. The Tigers came in a half game up on KC. Swing and a miss. Ooh, look out in the backswing. Avila is hit by Nunez. 5 strikeouts for Price. That's all Alex needs.
It's a hard changeup at.
He went to tag him and the bat comes up and hits Avila.
Oh,
yikes.
I'm just trying to tag you, man.
Don't you know my background with concussions? Here's Kurt Suzuki. Strike 1 to the Twins catcher.
He's got all his pitches working tonight.
Suzuki last year had 19 RBIs in the month of April. This year has just 6 as April begins to wind down. May is right around the corner. Former Oakland catcher, former Washington Nationals catcher. He'll back away from a ball high and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Price at 65 right now here in the 4th inning, so his count is up a little bit. Missed again. 3-1 on Kurt Suzuki. His batting average last year of .288 was his highest career high in average. 3-1 pitch. Lost it, ball 4. 1-out walk here in the 4th. Well, they mentioned it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Visit the life-size bobbleheads of Detroit Tigers Victor Martinez and Ian Kinsler at the GM Renaissance Center in downtown Detroit. For more information in April in the D, visit foxsportsdetroit.com. Price had retired 6 in a row prior to that base on balls. Here is Shane Robinson. Ball 1 high, and now time is called by Avila. Price has struggled with his control a little bit. Well, we know this for sure. David is certainly enjoying the weather conditions tonight much more than he did in his last start. It was snowing at Comerica Park. Really nice night here at Target Field. 2 night games and a day game. It'll be a matinee on Wednesday. The 1-0 sails inside. Nice stop by Avila. And now that's going to bring Jeff Jones out. And all of a sudden, Price has lost sight of home plate. So the Tigers veteran pitching coach comes out.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it's brought to you by Xfinity. And David Price has had a fastball that's been in the mid-90s all night long. As a matter of fact, top fastball 96. Really quick, short conversation between Price and the pitching coach, Jeff Jones. It appeared that Jeff Jones told David Price, you're just rushing a little bit with your body. Slow down.
2-0 is in there, 2-1. Robinson taking all the way.
That's the one time as a hitter that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt when a guy's struggling with his mechanics and the pitching coach goes out to visit, that next pitch 99% of the time is going to be a fastball.
Half swing, 1 around. Now it's even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It turned out to be a nice positive visit by Jeff Jones, slowing David Price down.
Price surrendered 1 run in the first, got into a little bit of trouble in the second, but no damage, was able to pitch out of it with a couple of strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. Got him, strike 3.
I see you, David.
Robinson down on strikes, caught looking, 6 of them now for the left-hander Price.
He took 3 straight fastballs, the last of which was painted on the inside corner.
Boy, you're not kidding, man. He dotted the inside corner. So there are 2 gone. Here is Schaefer.
That's one of the things that a lot of pitchers do not do in the big leagues. A lot of guys don't pitch inside as much as David Price has done here this evening.
Fouled away 0-1.
And he's got his foot on that gas pedal. Heavy tonight.
Schaefer got him for a single back in the second. It was after he walked Shane Robinson. It is really nice to have that extra gear, which is what Price has. He came back with 2 punch outs after he got into trouble in the second. Got a couple of strikeouts here in the fourth. The 0-1 is bunted foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Schaefer. Kenny Santana waiting on deck. Price last year made 11 starts for the Tigers after he was acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays. Had an ERA of about 3.5 in those starts. Here's the 0-2. Just off the corner, 1-2. And with the exit of Max Scherzer and the injury to Justin Verlander, Price elevated to that ace spot right now. Still waiting on when JV might be able to return, but he's still being hampered by that strain. Here's the 1-2. And that time it backed him out of there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Talked to Verlander yesterday. He said that they're not going to let him do anything until he is 100% pain-free. They don't want any setbacks. And of course, for a guy that has never really missed any starts, you know, Justin is going crazy down there in that Tigers clubhouse.
Well, what makes it easier to make that call is the Tigers are off to a nice start. And they're getting good outings from the bottom of their rotation. Guys like Simon and Green.
And it's such a valuable arm, and they have so much invested in Justin Verlander that they have to err on the side of caution with him.
JV just a spectator again here tonight. 11th season, his career numbers.
152 wins, only 89 losses.
Meanwhile, it's gone 3-2 on Schaefer. And a slow roller hit to the right side. Price will have to cover. He'll take the throw from Miggy, and that'll retire the side. No runs. They get a walk. 4 in the books here at Target Field. Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor at Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Meyer, save big with M-Perks from Meyer. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here in Minneapolis, 5-1 is our score. Tigers on top of the Twins. We go to the top of the 5th inning now here at Target. And that means the top of the order coming up as well. It'll be Kinsler, Iglesias, and Cabrera. Facing Tommy Malone, who's settled in nicely. Got a big double play ball in the 3rd and then got him 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. Kinsler also hit into a double play. That was back in the 2nd, forcing in a Tigers run. A strike called on Ian. Ten hits on the homestand for Kinsler, who raised his average up over to the 300 mark in doing so. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pulled down the left field line. That'll drop in. Base hit. Kinsler aggressive turn is going to hold up. Leadoff single here in the 5th inning, which brings us to our T-Mobile game changer. We're going to talk some shortstops here. Highest April batting average among Tiger shortstops since 1914. You see a really impressive list there. Alan Trammell, Harvey Keene, Iglesias is on that list.
Carlos Guillen also on that list. 2005 got off to a 385 clip in the month of April.
Well, Iglesias homered in the 1st inning, his first of the year. Kinsler aboard on the leadoff single, and now Iglesias batting .383. Tried to drop down a bunt, but missed.
Not a bad idea. Trevor Plouffe, the third baseman, was about 2 or 3 steps in back of the third base bag. So had Iglesias been able to get the ball down in that direction, he could have walked to first base.
Stoffer warming up in the Twins bullpen, the right-hander.
And Twins have had to dip into that bullpen quite often already here in the month of April because their starters have not been going very deep in games.
And that was a theme of theirs last year as well.
Right.
Which is not a really good recipe.
And Terry Ryan, their general manager, has done everything the last number of years at trying to go out and bring in some free agents, some guys that could get some outs. Hadn't worked all that well for him other than Phil Hughes. And Phil Hughes this year is off to a slow start.
Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball right side, going to find a hole. Base hit. An 0-2 single to right for Iglesias, his 2nd hit.
He is just barreling up everything these days, and not a really good 0-2 pitch thrown by Tommy Malone. 0-2 didn't get it far enough away and outside from Iglesias.
Not an enviable position to be in if you're Tommy Malone now. You're down 5-1. The first 2 men are on, and now you got to deal with the middle of the lineup. Namely Miguel Cabrera, who is hitting .400 with men in scoring position. But it looks like Paul Molitor is coming out. He has seen enough. This is not a good matchup, so he'll go to his bullpen. Malone gives up the baseball. And it's a wall-side windows pitching change. We'll be back to Minneapolis.
The West Coast pitching for the San Diego Padres, so not a lot of history between him and Miguel. So Wally Joyner basically telling Miguel exactly what Stoffer likes to do in certain situations. He's got a cut fastball. He'll try to backdoor you with that breaking ball. He also told Miggy looks really interested.
You know, I was about to say, Miggy's probably one of those guys that's like, yeah, whatever.
He don't need none of that stuff, man.
Need numbers, man.
He doesn't watch the TV. He doesn't look at none of that stuff.
That was classic right there. Here are the numbers on Stauffer.
Stauffer pitching in his 7th game this year. 7.71 ERA for the right-hander. First tour of duty in the American League after spending a number of years with the San Diego Padres.
Miggy pretty much went over there as a courtesy. Yep. Yep. Now let's see what you got. Cabrera stands in batting .380. And he looks at a strike 0-1.
A little hanging breaking ball there thrown by Stauffer.
2 on for the Tigers. Singles by Kinsler and Iglesias. Nobody out. We're in the 5th inning. 5-1 Detroit. And Miggy looks at a ball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
11 straight seasons Miguel Cabrera has topped the 100 RBI mark.
I got him doing it again this year.
I wouldn't bet against that at all.
One from Stauffer is low, and the count goes 2-1.
Now, if Stauffer decides to throw that same breaking ball to Miguel that he started him off with, Miggy's going to drive in both of the runs.
Might drive in himself.
Oh, he's in scoring position as we speak, Miguel.
2-1. 3-1 now on Miguel.
Miggy's still waiting for that slider.
Cabrera had a single to start things off in the 3rd, but then was erased on a double play ball off the bat of the on-deck man, Victor Martinez. (3-1) is the bouncing ball to short. Santana fires to second, 1 relay to first. There's another double play. Tigers continued to hit into a boatload of those. That is the 3rd they had bounced into tonight. 2 outs with the runner at third base. As Kinsler moves up. And it'll be up to Martinez now to drive in this run. Victor a single and a double play ball.
And Paul Molitor, the manager of the Minnesota Twins, knows that Victor not necessarily swinging the bat all that well left-handed, so he's going to allow Stauffer to at least appear that he's pitching to Victor with the base open and a right-hander in the on-deck circle.
So final now in Game 6 from the Joe. Tampa Bay defeats the Red Wings 5-2. So Game 7 will be on Wednesday on Fox Sports Detroit. There's a ball high. Really thought the Wings would close it out tonight, but they'll go to a Game 7.
Well, we'll get a chance to watch him on Wednesday night. We play very early here in Minnesota. We'll be in Kansas City.
Yeah, look forward to watching it.
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes on Victor. Low, 3-0.
Yeah, they basically are just walking Victor, but yeah, Paul Molitor didn't want Stauffer just to lob it up there like your normal intentional free passes.
J.D. Martinez on deck. And now they will intentionally as Suzuki leaves the crouch. So that will put runners at first and third and bring up the right-handed batting J.D. Martinez. Stauffer, a really good athlete in high school. I mean, he played some basketball, played some baseball, was also on the soccer team, on the golf team.
Really?
He did it all.
Did he study?
I don't know. We'd have to ask him that. I don't know if there was any time to study.
Man, 5 sports. That'll keep you out of trouble.
It will that. Martinez sends a ground ball to the shortstop. Santana will flip to second. And so Stauffer comes out of the pen, does a nice job. The Tigers turned away in the 5th. And you're watching Tigers baseball, presented tonight by Bell Tire. Action plus highlights on tonight's MLB games. A-Rod on the verge of making history at Yankee Stadium. Did he tie Willie Mays in the all-time home run hit list? Plus, Bucks and Blazers trying to avoid elimination in the NBA playoffs, and UFC champ John Jones in trouble again. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 p.m. on Fox Sports 1.
They got it all going on Fox Sports Live tonight.
Got it all covered. Every single aspect of the sporting world. Price goes back to work in the bottom of the 5th, 5-1. And leading it off is the number 9 hitter, Danny Santana, then Brian Dozier and Torrey Hunter.
He struck Danny Santana out his first time up on 3 pitches.
Santana now down on the count 0-2.
He doesn't even look like the same hitter that we watched last year.
And he was good last season.
No confidence right now whatsoever for the youngster Danny Santana, who leads their team with 21 strikeouts.
And Price just missed. Little bit off the plate, 1-2.
That's what he did against Tigers pitching last year.
Actually did a little bit better because those numbers took a big hit 0-for-12 in the opening series of the year. He was well over 330 against Detroit pitching. He's going to loop that one down the left field line and get himself maybe a double. Cespedes goes over to plate, and Santana has a leadoff 2-base hit.
That's a good at-bat. And by Santana, he could not catch up to the David Price fastball. David been throwing fastballs by him all night. But he comes back with a changeup, something that he can catch up to at 86 miles an hour at the bottom of the strike zone. And all Santana does is drop the bat head into the hitting area, and he's rewarded with a single.
First time the Twins have gotten the leadoff man on since the first inning against Price. Here is Brian Dozier, who led off the first inning with a double and eventually scored their only run so far. Ball one high to Brian Dozier.
And Brian Dozier stands right on top of the plate. A dead pull hitter, looks for balls on the inner third of home plate. Doesn't necessarily like the ball away from him.
He'll get away from Avila, advance the runner. Popped right out of his glove.
Yeah, that'll be a pass ball.
Santana gets to third base. Hit him right in the middle of the glove. The definition of a pass ball. So Santana at third now as Dozier tries to drive him in. The 2-0. 2-1. Fly ball, right field. JD going back, track, front of the wall. Look at the running. Sacrifice fly for Dozier. His 6th RBI, 5-2 ball game. So the pass ball sets up a run. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Hunter's had trouble with Price tonight, 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. And a swing and a miss.
Torrey, his swings here tonight against David have been way too big, way too aggressive. And he's come up empty when he's taken those huge swings.
They'll get back out of play. Fouled into the seats. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Price.
And Torrey admitted to me that opening series at Comerica Park that he really missed his teammates from the last couple of years. A lot of veteran players on the Tigers roster and a very good team. He's the elder statesman now on Minnesota's team. Different role for Torrey Hunter this year.
The 0-2. High, 1-2. Well, it certainly is a different dynamic for him, and I guess when you're really talking about a pure baseball perspective, you know, the Tigers have a chance to do some special things this year, and well, the Twins got off to a really slow start, and as you mentioned, a lot of young players, which has made his role a bit different. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He was brought over to mentor some of the younger players in the Minnesota Twins organization, but those players didn't make the major league squad.
It's 90 now for Price.
He's going to need some help out of that bullpen tonight.
Pulled on the ground to short. Iglesias has it there. Hunter is out now 0 for 3. And there are 2 gone in the 5th inning.
Menard brings you the big money encounter. Price going against Hunter. Hunter had very little success on opening day against David Price. He's taken some huge swings against him, and he's sitting 0-2 in the count. Then David comes back at a ball at the bottom of the strike zone, and Torrey hits it right to the sure-handed Jose Iglesias.
Here's Joe Mauer, who has not done anything against Price tonight. 0 for 2, fly ball, ground out. And another bouncing ball back up the middle. Kinsler goes a long way from the outfield grass. A nice pick by Miggy.
I see you, Miggy.
4-3 on the ground out. And take care of the Twins. They get a run back. 5 in the books. Tigers lead 5-2.
this year homers to get the Tigers on the board, and then with a couple of runners aboard, the Tigers get a 3-run home run from Yoenis Cespedes, and they scored 4 runs in the first inning against the starter Tommy Malone.
So Cespedes will start things off here in the 6th. Yoenis, then Avila, and then Hernan Perez. And is in there for a strike. 0-1 on Yoenis Cespedes. His home run back in the first inning, 4th of the year. Stauffer going to work here in the 6th inning. Popped up in the air toward right field. This looks like it's going to be a tough play. If it's fair, it is, and it's going to bounce into the seats for a ground rule double.
He is going as good as Jose Iglesias. Every time they put the ball in play, it seems to find some grass or some dirt. A little bloop double here by Cespedes. Tigers have had the leadoff man on just about every inning in this game.
1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 out of 6. Here is Avila. Strikeout, ground out for Alex.
Alex has got a job to do. He's got to get Cespedes at least to third base.
Tigers now have 9 hits.
When they get off the bus, you can pretty much write down 10, right?
It's been that way this year. It certainly was.
Just a matter of who's going to get them
in that series to start the year against Minnesota. Yeah, the distribution is all that's in question. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Alex Avila. High fly ball left field. Shane Robinson is under it. Cespedes tagging but going nowhere. 1 out. And Avila is 0 for 3. Here is Hernan Perez. Perez came into this ball game just 1 for 10 offensively this year. Then he singled, stole a base, and scored in the 2nd. Versatile performer, can play just about any infield position. And was also told to put on the catching gear in spring training, learn how to catch. He and Romine both did. Bluff back to second base. Perez had a pretty good year last year down in Toledo. Hit .287, 53 RBIs.
He was rated as the best shortstop as well in the International League last season.
Tried to drop down a bunt. Offered at it.
That's the 3rd time that we've had a Tigers hitter at least show bunt here today. Iglesias did it, and Anthony Gose also did it.
The 0-1 is bounced back up the middle. Dozier has it behind the bag. That'll advance the runner to third with 2 outs. 4-3 on the ground out of Perez. And now Cespedes just 90 feet away. Here is Anthony Gose. So we can get a 2-out hit here from Gose, who has a walk and a pop-up. Average of .326. Wally now chatting with Iglesias. Now, unlike Miggy, Iggy is listening.
Yeah, he is.
To every word. 1 strike on Anthony Gose. Ball high. 1-1. Miggy's had a hit in the ball game tonight. Iglesias had a couple of hits, including a home run that happened in the first inning. Got in on his hands that time, and he grounded it foul, 1-2.
Yeah, that ball was at least a couple of inches off the plate inside that Ghost didn't recognize and tried to get to. And you can see how far that ball was inside.
Ghost's really hot start this year, I think, was jump started obviously in that 3-game series against Minnesota to start the year. He was 6 for 11 against the Minnesota Twins.
Also gained a lot of confidence in spring training.
Off the plate outside.
You know, most of the time you don't worry about the spring numbers for a lot of the players, but in this case it was important for Ghost to have a really good spring and to, you know, develop some camaraderie with Wally Joyner, David Newhand, the assistant hitting coach.
Just off the plate, and Ghost will get a walk. Stauffer didn't like it. His last two were pretty close. Ghost walks for the second time.
It kind of looked like to me, because of where all these pitches are to Anthony Ghost, he didn't mind walking him with the base open and the right-handed Ian Kinsler coming up. Even though Ghost has been struggling, he didn't really want to give Ghost anything to hit. He wanted Ghost to get himself out.
So here is Kinsler, singled in the 5th, also knocked into a double play in this game, 1 for 3. Tigers trying to get that run back they gave up in the bottom of the 5th. They have led all night long. They scored 4 in the first inning, powered by 2 homers, Iglesias, Cespedes. A little bit outside.
Stauffer last year pretty good pitching out of the Padre bullpen. He was 5-0 with a 2.56 ERA, 57 strikeouts and 41 relief appearances.
One and one. Kinsler has hit safely in his last 4 straight. Trying to drive in Cespedes. He's at third base. Ghost with his terrific speed at first. Strike called. Up with the right hand goes Alfonso Marquez. 1-2.
If you're Ghost, you can run here. If you get thrown out, no issues. Ian Kinsler leads off next half inning. But we told you earlier that they have not thrown out anybody this year.
Drilled to left field and caught on the run by Shane Robinson. Hit it hard, but Robinson runs it down. The Tigers strand 2. Now Trevor Plouffe will start things off for the Minnesota Twins, and in this ballpark, career against the Tigers in his last 14. Well, he's really kind of picked it up.
How about those numbers? 426 with 3 homers and 14 driven in.
He will face David Price here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Plouffe, Nunez, and Suzuki against the Tigers left-hander. First pitch is up high, 1 ball, no strikes.
And Trevor Plouffe made some adjustments last year with the new hitting coach, Tom Brunansky. And started driving the ball to right field, right center field a little bit more often than he did his first couple of years in the big leagues. And because of that, he drove an 85 last year.
Yeah, he led the team in RBIs last season. They had him playing some first base in spring training this year as well, just in case he might have to play that position. A little bit outside, and the count rolls now to 3 balls, no strikes on Plouffe. Nunez waiting on deck. Here's the 3-0. And a strike called, 3-1. So David now is moving in on 100 for the ball game. He's at 96 pitches. And we're only here in the 6th inning. Flared back out of play, 3-2. These are the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Minnesota tonight as we play in the 6th. Tigers are not trailed this evening. Swing and a miss, and Price comes back to strike him out. 7th of the ball game now for Price.
Well, this last fastball was up and out of the strike zone, but a guy throwing 95 miles an hour, and very difficult to lay off.
Here's Nunez, ground out, strikeout. Ball 1 missing away.
And David threw 108 pitches a couple of starts ago against the Chicago White Sox on April 17th. And so Brad can stretch him to 115 today if he wanted to do so.
One and one. And there's some chattering going on now between Paul Molitor and Alfonso Marquez, who's telling him to let it go.
Well, Molitor's not going to win that one. He will simply get kicked out of this game if he continues to beef with Alfonso Marquez, who has had a very big strike zone tonight.
Ground ball hit towards second base. Routine there for Kinsler. 2 up, 2 down. Fans, you can follow the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. And Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and a whole lot more. Check it out. MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. It's going to bring up Suzuki. Ball 1 sliding inside to Suzuki with a walk and a fly out in this game. Bouncing ball to short. Easy play for Iglesias. And David Price with an easy 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. You know what that means? Go to the 7th.
And Jose Iglesias got the Tigers on the board really early. As a matter of fact, just 2 batters into this contest. He gets a fastball right down the middle from Tommy Malone and hits it out of the yard for his first homer of the season.
1 of 2 home runs in that first inning for the Tigers. Cespedes hit the other. And it'll be Iglesias, Cabrera, Martinez here in the top of the 7th. Bends away from a breaking ball in for a strike, and the count is 0-1 on Iglesias. 5-game hitting streak now for Jose. Inside, and the count evens at 1-1. Backed him out of there again. 2 balls, 1 strike. 5 runs, 9 hits for Detroit. They've left 5 men on base. 2 runs, 4 hits for Minnesota. They've left 4. And Stauffer missing outside. Rolled the count to 3-1. Stauffer had to come on in the 5th inning. Got a double play ball. Pitched a scoreless 6th. Iglesias looks at a strike. He was headed to first base. Here's the 3-2. Lifted in the air to right field. Hit pretty good. Torrey Hunter is on the run. Still going back. Hunter reaches. Can't get it. Up against the wall. It's another hit for Iglesias. He's going to try for 3. The relay is not in time.
He can fly. Man, is he off to a really nice start this year. First homer of the season tonight. First triple of the season tonight as well. Once this ball gets over Torrey Hunter's head, who nearly made an outstanding play, I mean, it's on for Iglesias. I mean, he turned on the Jets when he got around first base.
Somewhat overlooked in the speed aspect of this Tigers offense is what Iglesias brings. With all the attention that Ghosts and Rajay Davis get on the base pass, Iglesias can really move.
A couple of years ago, Iglesias led the American League in infield singles with 35, but he wasn't stealing many bases. So you knew there was some speed there.
Cabrera trying to drive him in. A single and 3 at bats for Miggy. Infield has come in a couple of steps against Cabrera.
It is now 5 of the 7 innings played so far here today. The Tigers have had the leadoff man on base. And a lot of those times they've been in scoring position too.
Yeah, leadoff double in the 6th. They couldn't cash in though. And Cabrera looks at a strike. 2-1. More activity. Blaine Boyer is warming up in the bullpen for the Twins. And the Tigers now have their 10th hit of this ball game tonight. Here's the 2-1. It is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Stauffer has given up a double and a triple since coming into this game in the 5th. And Cabrera fouls it away. 3-2 on Miguel. His 14th RBI is standing at third base right now with nobody out. And Victor Martinez on deck. And there's another walk for Cabrera. So he's aboard. The Tigers have him at first and third with nobody out. Stauffer has just walked his 3rd batter, one of them intentionally. And Suzuki now will buy some time as he walks out to the mound. So here is Victor Martinez. And here is Paul Molitor. He'll go to the bullpen. So Stauffer will depart this ball game. Boyer is good to go. Another wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back to Minneapolis. Looks like Josh Hamilton is back to Texas now. He was acquired by the Rangers in exchange for cash considerations or a player to be named later. To see what happened to Adam Wainwright.
I did see him trying to get out of the batter's box. Apparently he has torn his Achilles. He'll be done for the year.
Yeah, that's bad. And tonight's game in Baltimore has been postponed due to some violence outside of Orioles Park at Camden Yards, so they are not playing tonight.
I was watching the news earlier today before I came to the ballpark, and it's not good what's going on in Baltimore right now. You mentioned to me the other day at the Baltimore Orioles game, they didn't even let the fans leave the game.
No, they told all the fans to stay in the ballpark until they got it under control. Here is Blaine Boyer now. He will check in for Minnesota.
After spending 8 years pitching in the senior circuit, this is the first time he's ever pitched in the American League, and he's made 274 appearances. All of those at the major league level have been in relief.
Infield in right now. Martinez up there in a 3-run game, 5-2. Tigers looking to tack on, and Victor looks at a strike. And checking a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Looked like the home plate umpire Marquez went up the right hand. Now it is a strike. He did go up with the right hand. Scoreboard head ball 1. Boyer, like the guy he replaced Stauffer from the San Diego Padres. Last year appearing in 32 games. Here's the 0-1. High fly ball to left. Iglesias tagging. Robinson coming in, making the catch. He's going to air it out. Here's a throw to the plate. And he's out at no plate. Oh, what a throw by Shane Robinson.
And let's hope that Iglesias is okay. He slid right into the shin guards of Suzuki. He airmailed the cutoff man, and he threw it all the way to home plate, and Suzuki applied the tag to Iglesias, and Iglesias very slow to get up. And the one problem that you have when you overthrow the cutoff man the way that he did is you allow the runner that was on first base get down into scoring position.
But there are 2 outs now, and a chance for the right-hander to get out of this inning as Martinez steps in. It remains a 5-2 ball game. That is in for a strike on JD. Miguel able to take second base on that play. Martinez walking a single. Blown away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boyer's career began with Atlanta back in 2005. He's also pitched with St. Louis, Arizona, and San Diego. Swing and a miss.
He turned in his best work last year against right-handed batters. Right-handed batters last year against Boyer were 178. They were just 16 for 90. Whoa.
This would be a big pick-me-up for the Twins if they get out of this mess.
And Twins also know that David Price is only good for one more inning here today, so they're going to get a chance to get into the Tigers bullpen.
Swinging a foul, just got a piece of it. Cespedes waiting on deck. J.D. Martinez trying to drive in a 2-out run. And there goes Biggie to third base. They're going to throw down and tag him out. Oh, my goodness.
Well, the inning started off promising.
Hold on. Brad Ausmus is saying hold everything here. And Alfonso Marquez, the Twins are running off the field saying hold up.
They're going to challenge it, looks like.
Are they challenging the tag? Well, Brad came out and said hold everything. And it looks like they will challenge. I'm not sure even the Tigers had a chance to look at this because Brad came out immediately. But they're going to give it a shot here. Mickey trying to catch him napping.
That's exactly what Miggy was trying to do.
There you go.
Looks like he missed him to me. Yeah. But we'll see.
To me too. Here's another angle.
Just looks like he whiffed at the left leg. Well, this will give us a really good look here.
I think you're right. I think he whiffed. Well, we'll see what the official word is on this challenge. Boyer did a pretty good job of just kind of maintaining his wits about himself. He just simply stepped off and fired to third. He wasn't shaken by the play. The question is whether or not Miggy got in under the tag. The ball certainly beat him there. And here comes your answer. He's out. So that'll end the inning. A promising start, and it fizzles in the end. Tigers turn back. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-2 is our score. David Price goes back out for his 7th inning of work, and he delivers ball 1 to Shane Robinson. A couple of big plays in the top of the 7th. Robinson throwing a runner out at the plate, and Cabrera thrown out at third trying to steal. Robinson looks at a strike on the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was going to say there's some activity. You've got Gorzelani and Wilson.
80% of the 105 in the pitch department today for David Price have been fastballs.
There's a pop-up. Miggy is on the grass. 1 out.
And he really hasn't been all that good today in first pitch strikes. Just 12 of 25, but the Minnesota Twins really have not been able to do much against Price the last number of times they've seen him.
Yeah, David limited the damage here tonight. I mean, he got into that trouble in the 2nd, then got 2 big strikeouts.
He's had a great fastball today, and he's been able to locate it all over the strike zone. Touching 96 a couple different times. Majority of the fastballs have been 94, 95.
Here is Jordan Schaefer. He pulls one down the right field line. It's going to be trouble. It bounces in. Schaefer going to try for 2. And he's diving in with a double. 1 out, 2 base hit for Schaefer, his 2nd hit in this game.
It's a fastball that he didn't necessarily barrel up, but he got enough of it and to hit it in the right field in front of J.D. Martinez. And Schaefer, with his speed, once he got to first base and he saw that J.D. Martinez had not gotten to the baseball yet, he just stretched that into a double.
Santana is up there, and Omar Vizquel saying watch out for the bunt. Santana had a double back in the 5th and eventually scored a run. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Iglesias has to go off his glove. That'll score a run. Santana is aboard. Now all of a sudden it's a 5-3 ball game. You expect Iglesias to make a play on everything he can get to, but that one carried off his glove.
Looked like it may have picked up a little extra steam after hitting the back of the mound on the dirt, but Iglesias nearly makes another sensational play.
And that's going to be it for David Price. He'll depart. Tigers go to the bullpen. We'll be back.
throwing 108 pitches, the second time he's thrown 108 this year. 80% of the 108 were fastballs, and he was moving that fastball all around the strike zone today, working all 4 quadrants of the zone. Mixing some breaking balls and some changeups too, but not nearly as many because he had that good fastball. It's our bell tire pitch by pitch.
So Price now will turn things over to the bullpen. 5-3 game as Alex Wilson comes in to face the top of the lineup, Brian Dozier.
And keep Danny Santana close at first base. He's got some speed.
Popped him up.
Staying here.
See if it gets to the seats. Miggy reaching in. And it rolls back into the seats. Wilson on Friday went 3 against the Indians.
Very economical in the 3 innings that he pitched. Just 10 pitches per inning.
So David Price now will watch the rest of the action, leaning over the railing.
And Santana on first base stole 20 bags last year. Was caught just 4 times. Off to a slow start this year in the steal department because he really hasn't been on base all that often.
Wilson is out of the Boston system, came over in the Porcello deal along with Cespedes. High fly ball left field. It'll stay in the ballpark. Yoenis is under it. Dozier is out. It's going to bring up Torrey Hunter. Hunter glad to see Price out of the game. He was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts against him.
Yeah, he is.
He'll try his chances now against Wilson. Price 7 strikeouts before departing. Wilson in the big leagues parts of each of the last 2 seasons. As you look at some splits on Torrey Hunter, much better against righties this year, 278. Wilson continues to keep a close eye on Santana.
Yeah, the Minnesota Twins lineup not nearly as deep as the Tigers lineup is, and Torrey Hunter recognizes that. He was hitting in a prime spot last year in the number 2 spot on most nights, right in front of Miguel Cabrera.
Hunter flares that one back out of play, 0-1.
Torrey taking some big swings here today.
More so than I think we've ever seen him do in a single game.
Agreed.
I mean, it seems like every ball he goes after is a huge swing.
Almost like he's trying to do too much against his former team.
Bouncing ball, third base side. Perez. And that'll be that for the Minnesota Twins. They get a run back. We go to the 8th. Now a 2-run game. The Tigers and the Minnesota Twins. Tigers about hit the Twins 10-6, and they lead by 2. And we'll see what the Tigers can do here in the 8th inning. J.D. Martinez, Yoenis Cespedes, Alex Avila facing the right-hander Boyer. J.D. was at the plate when Cabrera was thrown out at third base last half inning. 5-3 in favor of Detroit. And they scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, but have not been able to tack on.
And they've had a lot of opportunities to tack on here tonight.
Waving a miss.
Really slow breaking ball thrown by Boyer, and really slowed down his arm action on that pitch.
Martinez on base a couple of times, a walk, a single. He has scored a run. The 0-1 is drilled on a line to center field. That'll drop. Base hit. Now let's get him in. Well, we have a chance. Let's go down to the field now and check in with Justin White.
Hey, Mario. Had a chance to speak with Justin Verlander in the clubhouse earlier today, and the update on him is there's really nothing new. He had a second MRI a couple of days ago, and we'll have another one next week. There's a little bit less fluid in that tricep area, and he's feeling a little bit better, but still no timetable as far as him picking up a baseball and throwing again. Verlander is taking it in stride, although he says this is the hardest thing he has been through. The trainers are literally holding him back because he wants to get back out there so badly. So JV still in a holding pattern here as we await his return.
All right, Justin, thanks for that update on Justin Verlander, who, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, and Rod, you mentioned, it's got to be tough for him to kind of be watching at this point.
Yeah, he's never been on the disabled list before, and he's chomping at the bit to get out there to contribute to what the Tigers have done here in 2015. That was Lindsey Hayes sitting right there behind Justin as he did that stand-up.
I noticed that. There's Lindsey.
Yeah.
Former colleague of ours here at Fox Sports Detroit. It was a chopper hit foul in the general vicinity of Lindsey Hayes. 0-2. Cespedes, 3-run homer in the first, double in the sixth. There goes the runner. They're going to throw to second and tag him out.
What's wrong with these Tigers?
Being just a little too aggressive tonight. That's a big play.
Second consecutive inning, the Tigers have had a base runner take off for the next base, only to have the pitcher step off the rubber and throw him out.
Brad looks like he wants an explanation. What were you doing? Breaking ball hammered in the air toward right. Hunter comes on and makes the play. 2 outs. Well, it was Cabrera last inning and now Martinez this inning. That has helped out the cause for the Twins, who continue to fight back in this game. Just a 2-run contest now. Avila is 0 for 3. No balls, 1 strike on Alex. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, don't forget the Red Wings are going to a Game 7, and that is coming up On Wednesday, coverage begins at 6:30 with Red Wings Live. Game 7, Red Wings and the Lightning coming up in the Eastern Conference Round 1. It's going to a Game 7 with the Lightning winning tonight. So make your plans to tune that in. Swing and a miss by Avila.
And Boyer has that really slow breaking ball at about 70 miles an hour. And then once he throws you that 93, as it just did there to Avila, it looks a lot harder than what it is.
Now with 2 strikes in the count, Trevor Plouffe has moved to the other side of the infield, so they got 3 defenders to the right side. Here's the 1-2 off the plate.
So apparently with 2 strikes, I guess it's even more prone for Alex to hit a ball into that direction.
Must be what the data says. Although he, in some ways, pitched away from the shift there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul tipped it and right out of the glove. And Suzuki was unable to hold on to it. There is Hernan Perez waiting on deck. Leadoff single. Martinez was caught stealing. Cespedes flied out. Off the plate again. Fill the count 3-2. No surprise that these 2 teams are playing a tight ball game here tonight in Target Field. It was like this, seemed like every game here last year. And he lost him, ball 4. Tigers get a 2-out walk. It'll bring up Hernan Perez. 1 for 3 tonight for Perez. Single, steal, run scored. Perez has put the ball on the ground a couple of times in his last 2 at-bats. And he looks at ball 1. More action in the bullpen for Minnesota. The lefty Caleb Thielbar.
Every day Eddie Guardado is their bullpen coach. Did you know that? He's down there in that bullpen.
I do know that all the games we played in the Metrodome in Minneapolis, man, he pitched every day.
Every day, Eddie.
The 1-0 is swung on and missed. 1-1. Here's Mr. Guardado.
Had some good years closing out games for the Minnesota Twins.
Now Boyer steps off, and here comes Suzuki out to the mound.
That's what Torrey Hunter was saying to me at Comerica Park. He says, now my manager, I played with him. The bullpen coach, I played with him.
All it means is you're getting old.
Yeah, he's like an old man around here.
Torrey, 39 years old, so he's going to run into situations like that.
Paul Molitor had a magnificent career, over 3,000 hits.
He also stole 500 bases.
Yeah, he did.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Santana flipping for the force. And that'll end the inning. No runs, single walk, 1 man left. Here comes the bottom of the 8th. Angeles. Tigers holding on to a skinny lead here tonight. They're up by 2. And the Twins now will come to the plate with Joe Mauer leading it off. And you can see at the Metrodome, he was homering about every 35 at bats. But here at Target Field, every nearly 90 at bats.
Yeah, he appeared to be much more comfortable hitting in the Metrodome. Had 28 home runs one year, and while playing in the Metrodome, he hadn't come close to that since.
So Jabba Chamberlain now is going to have to go through the middle of the Twins lineup, beginning with Mauer. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Minnesota. Jabba Chamberlain's numbers look like this.
6th game this year now that Jabba has appeared in for the Tigers. 3 strikeouts, no walks. Has a career earned run average just a shade over 4.5 against Twins.
Oh for 3 for Mauer in this game. Ball 1 for Jabba.
And Jabba lots of breaking balls these days, even though he has a fastball that it can get up to 93, 96 depending on the day. But Jabba, a lot of breaking balls.
Wilson gets a couple of key outs in the 7th. Now Jabba here in the 8th. Two and 0 the count. Trevor Plouffe is waiting on deck. Twins need to get a man on base to bring the tying run to the plate. And it's in there for a strike. 2-1. Joe Mauer has not homered this year. In fact, his last home run, August 17th of last season. Outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. There is Blaine Hardy warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Fouled away. 3-2. Tigers did all of their scoring early in this game. They scored 4 in the first, hitting a couple of home runs in that inning. They got 1 more in the second, but nothing but zeros since. Twins have been chipping away. They're down by 2. Drilled toward left center field. That's going to be trouble. It's going to go to the track and all the way to the wall. Joe Mauer with a leadoff double here in the 8th. His first hit tonight.
Yeah, just about every pitch that Jabba Chamberlain threw to Joe Mauer was a breaking ball. And the last breaking ball was up in the strike zone and ripped the opposite way. And by the Minnesota Twins first baseman.
So the Twins now will indeed bring the tying run to the plate here in the 8th. Trevor Plouffe against Jabba, 2 for 7 lifetime with a strikeout. Ball 1 to Plouffe. David Price in this game went 6 1/3. Wilson came on to get through the 7th. And now Chamberlain here in the 8th. Swing and a miss.
Well, you wonder if Jabba will come back with another fastball. He threw that fastball right by Trevor Plouffe at 93.
Popped up foul. That'll get back on the seats. Jabba last pitching against his former team, the Yankees, back on the 23rd as scoreless inning. Kluf has power, only 2 home runs this year.
I think I'd come right back with another fastball, maybe a little bit higher in the strike zone to see if he can get Kluf to swing through it.
Popped him up. Shallow right field. Martinez and Kinsler. It's Martinez. And Mauer will hold 1 out. We'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. Hitless tonight, couple of groundouts and a strikeout for Nunez, their designated hitter. And Nunez came in one of their hottest hitters. He was 4 for 9 in their last road trip. Bouncing ball left side. Perez has it. Mauer will advance, but there are 2 gone.
That ball sailed on Mickey. Mickey had to really reach up to make sure that ball didn't get past him.
So it'll be up to Kurt Suzuki, who is only 2 for 14 in his career against Chamberlain. Ground out, fly out, walk tonight for Kurt Suzuki. Big batter here for Chamberlain as Suzuki steps in. 286 with men in scoring position, trying to keep this a 2-run game and get it to the 9th. In for a strike, 0-1.
Paul Molitor does have a couple of left-handed bats on his bench. And Kenny Vargas has a lot of pop in his bat. Arcia, another left-handed bat with power, but they strike out a lot.
Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mauer led it off with a double. He's at third now with 2 outs. Shane Robinson waiting on deck. Here's the 1-1. Line drive, base hit to left. That'll score the run. Mauer comes in to make it a 5-4 ball game.
They had 2 base hits in this inning, the double by Joe Mauer and the single by Kurt Suzuki. Both on breaking balls thrown by Jabba.
Gene Lamont has been in contact with the bullpen. So Escobar is going to pinch hit for Robinson. As Paul Molitor goes to the bench. Tiger lead has been shaved to 1. It's 5-4. That was the 8th hit of the ball game now for the Twins. 2-out RBI single by Suzuki. And Escobar batting 150.
He was their best hitter last year. He was their best hitter in spring training, but he did not start the regular season in the starting lineup, and they've had a difficult time of getting him going.
Well, Chamberlain would love to keep him cold. Looks like Nesbitt now has joined Hardy in the Tiger bullpen. Two and 0. Eduardo Escobar, the pinch hitter here in the 8th inning in a 1-run ball game. Chamberlain came on, gave up a leadoff double, and that runner has come around to score. Tying run at first base. Escobar shoots one right to the shortstop, Perez, or Iglesias rather, who hauls it in. It's going to end the inning. However, Twins have tightened it up. Let's go to the 9th.
Most of their damage in the very first inning, a solo home run by Jose Iglesias, and then a 3-run shot by Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes already with 16 RBIs for his new club. And then the Minnesota Twins, they just kind of chipped away the last 3 innings, scoring 1 run in each of those innings. And the score now is 5-4 as we go to the 9th.
RBI base hit by Kurt Suzuki. Cut into that lead, and now the Chamberlain giving up a run before getting Escobar, the pinch hitter, to line out. Here are the particulars on Price. Iglesias, big night. And now the Tigers trying to add a couple of more runs here, or at least one more run, to give a little bit of breathing room when we go to the bottom of the 9th. Try and rebuild that lead as Anthony Ghost leads it off. Ghost, Kinsler, and Iglesias. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Lifted toward left field. One gone. Check in with Justin White now. Preview of what's coming up on Tigers Live postgame.
Yeah, Mario, a friendly reminder to stay with us for Tigers Live immediately following the game. We'll have all the highlights and reaction from inside the clubhouse, including the thoughts of Brad Ausmus, hopefully after his Tigers close this one out. Tigers Live right after the game. Mario and Rod, back to you guys for now.
All right, Justin, thank you. In the meantime, here is Kinsler with 1 out. There's a ball missing outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Ian. Bouncing ball third base side. Gobbled up there by Plouffe. Couple of quick outs. 5-3 in the rollout. 2 gone.
Here is the 1-800-CALL Sam of the day. Iglesias batting in that number 2 spot today with Rajai Davis not available to go, and Gose had been struggling against left-handers, so he's batting 9th. Kinsler led off, and Ian Kinsler and also Iglesias have just gotten it done at the top of that batting order for the Tigers.
Single triple homer, which leaves Iglesias a double away from the cycle. 5-game hitting streak right now. The average, how about this, up to 403.
It's good to see. I mean, this cat missed the entire 2014 season, but you wouldn't know it.
Slice to right field, but foul. That's what's fascinating about this, is that he did miss an entire year and has just picked up really where he left off a couple of years ago.
We're playing like an all-star right now.
No balls, 2 strikes on Iglesias. That missed inside, 1-2.
And Boyer thought he had hit that ball and he had that for a strike. He was walking off the mound.
In case you're wondering, the last Tigers cycle was in August of 06. Guillen did it down in Tampa
against the Devil Rays then. As soon as they changed that name, got rid of that devil, they started playing some pretty good baseball, didn't they?
Yeah, they got to the World Series. Swing and a miss. No cycle tonight, at least for now, for Iglesias. Tigers go 1-2-3. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Well, it's last call time now for the Twins. It is just a 1-run ball game, 5-4 in favor of the Tigers. And, well, they got their closer out there now. Joakim Soria will try and nail this one shut.
And Joakim Soria got his 7th save yesterday at home, closing out that homestand. He has no blemishes as far as the saves and opportunities are concerned. He is 7 of 7, and he doesn't throw as hard as he used to when he was closing games for the Kansas City Royals, but he still has that really good command with his fastball.
Schaefer, Escobar, and Dozier, the 3 hitters due up. And Soria delivers a ball high, 1-0.
Schaefer might be trying to bunt his way on.
Schaefer a double and a single in this ball game tonight. Soria is 1-0. One ball, one strike on the center fielder.
And Kansas City has won their game tonight over the Cleveland Indians. So if the Tigers want to hold on to first place, they've got to hold on to this lead.
Vargas beat Kluber in that game. Here's the 1-1. Sliced foul, 1-2. Joakim Soria, big breath as he comes out of the Tigers bullpen. The 1-2 is a little looper in the left, base hit. Tying run is on for Minnesota. Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. Tomorrow, here are the probables, right? It'll be Aníbal Sanchez and Mike Pelfrey.
And Pelfrey off to a pretty nice start this year. The ERA at 2.65. Aníbal Sanchez, he's been striking out a lot of hitters. 25 of those against 8 walks, but the ERA approaching 6 for Sanchez. He's much better than that.
So here is Santana, who is 2 for 3 tonight, double and a single.
Tigers looking for the bunt off the bat of Santana. Has really been the number 8 and number 9 hitters today that have done the bulk of the work for the Minnesota Twins. 3 hits for Schaefer, 2 hits for Santana.
Schaefer represents the tying run. He shows bunt, lets it go by for strike 1. That was the 9th hit of the ball game for the Twins. The Tigers have 11. The Tigers just have not been able to add any of those add-on runs after getting 4 in the first, 1 in the second.
And they also made some mistakes on the base path tonight.
That pickoff throw bounces in. Cabrera had to dig it out. Another throwback. Imperative to keep Schaefer as close as possible. There's a bunt back to the mound, and he'll go straight to first with it. Sacrifice advances the runner into scoring position. Would that have been too dangerous of a throw to second, do you think?
I think so. With Schaefer running at his speed, you don't want to force the issue. You just want to take the sure out. You can see Soria, he never even looked towards second base, nor was he being told second base by Avila. Usually the catcher is the one that's telling the pitcher what to do with the baseball. Schaefer is 9 of 10 career steals of third base. So if you're Soria, you just have to make sure that he knows that you're paying attention to him.
Brian Dozier looks at a ball high, 1-0. This Twins team did not give up when they fell behind 5-1 early. And got the tying run at second, 1 out. One ball, one strike. Dozier can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Well, he's not done much of that this year. He has only 1 homer. He is a 20-20 guy, 23 homers last season. Strike called. Up with the right hand goes Alfonso Marquez. Not a whole lot of history between these two. 0 for 3 for Dozier.
Dozier must have been looking for something soft because this fastball is right down the middle. That's what happens when you guess at the plate and you're looking for a breaking ball. You get the fastball. It's impossible for you to pull the trigger.
Here's the 1-2. Way high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the tying run. Schaefer at second. Way outside, 3-2. Torrey Hunter is waiting on deck. Crowd of 18,000 plus in attendance here tonight, hoping their Twins can come up with a 9th inning rally. Dozier has a double. He has an RBI tonight, coming on a sac fly. Now Soria with the 3-2. Swing and a miss to strike him out.
Nasty breaking ball there thrown by Joaquin Soria. In a 3-2 count. It's just confidence.
Wow. Indeed.
Dirty.
So it'll be up to Torrey Hunter. A little bit of history here between these two. 3 for 13 with a homer for Torrey. Also punched out 4 times. Chop foul. Hunter tonight is hitless. First 3 at bats against Price. And David struck him out twice. Checked it. Don't believe he went. He did not. It's Dan Bellino down at first base, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. Leadoff single by Schaefer here in the 9th. Santana bunted him up, and Dozier is just fanned. If it gets that far, Joe Mauer waiting on deck. Prefer not to get that far. One ball, 1 strike. Fouled away. Hunter had a rip. 1-2. Soria needs 1 more strike. Bouncing ball to third. Perez has it. Throws across the diamond in time, and the Tigers hold on to win game 1 of the road trip. Twins threaten but do not score. 5-4 your final here this evening as the Tigers win game 1 of this 3-game series. Here's your final out. We'll be back.